Radio.
Face for Radio. We Like Dota, episode 36, starts now.
Hello everybody, welcome back to We Like Dota. This is We Like Dota, the internet's casual Dota 2 podcast. I'm Brian Sabone-Yinger, and joining me on this perfectly delightful Ohio fall evening,
Afternoon.
is none other than Jared Clyde Frog Pedersen.
Hi, Brian. How's it going today?
Just dandy, how are you?
Doing absolutely wonderful.
Okay. And joining me from across the table is the internet's Dota 2 curmudgeon, Ben Yadneb Day.
Hey, Brian.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm Jim Dandy.
I don't know what that means.
Jim Dandy. That's something that senior
90-year-old men say.
Yes.
Right. You're not that old.
No.
We're going to go down to the soda fountain the
Soda jerk?
The soda jerk. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. The soda jerk and get ourselves a
That's what
Are
it
you a
was.
little
That's,
uncomfortable with a soda jerk?
couple of root beers.
that's what it was called.
Yeah.
A couple of
That's
colas.
the guy. He's a jerk.
It's nothing
He's a
inappropriate.
soda jerk.
It's just what it was.
Yeah. He does that weird motion.
It's what he does.
Yeah.
It's his
If you,
job.
if you don't talk in old-fashioned language, Brian, you don't have to worry about all the other references.
That's right.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's your own fault.
Stay in your own time, old timey.
All right, I'll do that. Gentlemen, patch day is upon us.
Yes.
It is here. Well, it's a couple days ago.
It is come
Yeah.
and gone, and we have missed that window.
Yep. I think it was Thursday-ish.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Even better.
It was Wednesday, and that evening,
That evening.
various Dota 2 celebrities were uploading their 4-hour-long videos,
Yeah.
of which I watched several.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a really large patch.
It's a gigantic patch. There's
Yeah.
a lot of changes.
Big stuff. Big stuff.
We'll get into that later during Noobs Patch Noobs.
Okay, so you're just gonna go with it right now. I was gonna,
Yeah, that's-
okay.
I came across less clever than you
I
probably
stole that
anticipated.
I stole that from our Reddit
Okay.
folks. That's not me.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
It was clever when I read it on Reddit.
It's very clever.
When you just said it
Noobs
right out
patch
of the... Yeah,
noobs.
you tried too hard, I think.
Yeah.
Which goes to show what I've said from the beginning, that our viewers are way smarter than us. At
I
least
would
me.
definitely agree with that.
At least smarter than me.
There's really no contest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, boys. We're going to start the show as we always do, as is tradition,
As is tradition.
and start with who'd you play. Ben, we're going to start with you.
I played very little Dota, but I did play a little bit. I played some Death Prophet and some Undying, both of which were uneventful and played poorly.
Perfect.
And
Those are some tough matches. Those are a little rough.
yeah, no, I think you were in some of those matches,
Yeah.
weren't you? They didn't go well. That's okay. But I also played
Somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose.
exactly
the way the game
exactly.
goes.
I did
That's
hit
right.
max level in Destiny. So I mean, Destiny, the new hotness that
Wow.
everybody's
Oh,
playing and
great.
hating on and loving and whatever they do with it. So
So what is your opinion?
I like it. I think it's. I think people went in expecting like, oh, it's going to be like Halo.
Right.
It-
Well, it's
it's-
a Bungie thing, right?
Yeah, and it plays kind of
Okay.
like Halo meets Call of Duty in terms of like the gameplay style,
Okay.
which is good. It's fun. I like
Yeah.
that.
So does it feel like Halo? Like you're actually like in space and moving at the speed of a snail?
They changed the float. There is floatiness, but you
Okay.
have more control over the floatiness.
Good,
So
good,
that's
good.
a little different. And I think the gameplay itself
That
is
always
really
looks a little
solid.
weird.
I think
Yeah.
the
I
problem
didn't notice until I played Call of Duty.
right. the storyline's not like in your face, but I think that's kind of an intentional decision on Bungie's part because
Okay.
it's meant to be. I think it's meant to be more of a co-op experience. It's meant to be kind of grindy like an MMO. There's
so
dungeons.
kind of Gears of War style.
Maybe more like that. I guess you could say that because
Okay.
in terms of the way that, yeah, probably even less in your face story than the Gears of War. I would say it's more grindy like an MMO.
Right. Okay.
But it's fun. So yeah, I mean, it's all about getting the fat loot, and the mechanics feel great. The PvP's pretty fun. It may not be the most balanced thing ever, but that's
Sure.
pretty fun. And I think it's fun to kind of. It's certainly fun. Cheeks and I have been playing a little bit, and it's fun playing with other people.
Okay.
Trying to find the good loot and that kind of thing. But it's definitely more of an MMO feel. It looks like they're going to have a lot of post-release content, which is
nice.
really good.
Yeah,
so
that's nice.
every week they have some sort of a special event going on. But there's like reputation grinds. If you played an MMO, it's grinding reputation with different reputations and that kind of thing. And
I always hated those. Those
yeah.
are the worst.
yeah, some people love that stuff. Some people don't.
Hated
but I think the good thing is the gameplay is solid, but it
Yeah.
has gotten some hate. So some people I guess the raid, which I have not played because I haven't gotten that high. I guess the raid is fantastic from what I've heard. So I guess the reviews, a lot of them probably didn't take that into effect. But
so I think the people that were disappointed probably were expecting Halo different.
It's not Halo different. It's a different beast altogether. But playing that and then playing some Dead Rising 3, which is mindless fun killing thousands of zombies. I think I killed about 1,600 zombies. It has a counter at the top. 1,600 zombies in about
no mercy
2
out of
hours.
Ben here.
Okay.
It's mindless killing of zombies with various weapons, and sometimes you're wearing a dress. So take from that what you will.
Frequently happens to me as well.
Yeah, I mean it's just like
sounds like my life actually.
Really, every Wednesday evening for Brian, it's kind of the same sort of deal. So
yeah.
So that's what I've been playing.
So Ben, when are you starting the We Like Destiny podcast?
I'm not going to do a We Like Destiny podcast, but I'll probably visit. I'm gonna do
under the umbrella of the We Like.
Right. I did the Destiny. The Destiny is like Dota video, and I think I'll probably do another video. Maybe not quite in the same vein, but I'm either going to visit Dead Rising, or I'm going to probably pick up Shadows of Mordor, which is the Lord of the Rings game that's coming out.
People have been raving about
that. Looks really cool. So I'll probably do some impressions, maybe impressions geared towards the Dota audience. For Shadows of Mordor.
I like that this could be a series of videos where you just compare video games to Dota 2.
We can either put that up on the We Like Dota YouTube vid, or I can put it up on my YouTube channel, and we'll figure it out.
4 is kind of like Dota 2.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
In this respect.
Yes.
So, I'm hearing Shadows of Mordor is what you guys would rather see me do. So maybe I'll do that.
I would love that, because I've been hearing great things about that game.
Yeah, well, I should hopefully have it on Tuesday.
Okay.
So there we go.
Yeah, either that or Roller Coaster Tycoon.
That would be fun too. I don't have that game though.
They're re-releasing that. They're doing like a remastered version of like the original one.
That'd be wonderful.
Like extreme high definition.
Yeah.
That'd be terrifying.
You can see the chunks in the puke as people
I was going to say
people puke on the sidewalk.
Real-time puke physics.
We need more janitors. They're roaming around. We can't control them. We need more janitors.
That's great.
Okay, Jared, let's bump it over to you.
This week I got a chance to play a couple matches. I played an Abaddon, Avenge, and an Undying as well.
Avenge?
Little Venge.
Yeah.
Vengeful Spirit.
Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah. She's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
She's a lot of fun.
We had a faceless pick into it one match, which was kind of funny.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah. Oh, how'd that wind up?
We won because we won all the matches. Yeah, we won all the matches we played. So it worked out well.
Was the Vengeful Spirit useful for
not
the
against
Chronosphere?
Faceless? We didn't play.
No,
I don't think you played it well.
Was
enough.
awful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and he was basically just using Chronosphere defensively to run away the whole time.
I actually don't think he had an offensive Chronosphere the entire.
I don't think
game.
so.
I think it was all.
That's what people do with the Naga Siren Ultimate in pubs.
It's like
similar to that.
Reset, TP. Yeah.
So it could have been useful. Venge did not counter Faceless because Venge didn't need to counter Faceless. I think is what it boils down to.
Yeah, and luckily I fed with Crazy with her, so I was maxing her aura so that I fed with purpose. So
that's right.
It was good.
It's pretty great.
It was good.
Good work. We're all proud of you, Jared.
Absolutely.
Brian, or who else did you play? Jared, is that it?
Yeah, I think those three. I had that Undying match and again fed like crazy. I don't know what was going on.
It was kind of the goal of you and I playing together is for you to feed. And while you're doing that, I'm just farming the whole time.
Yeah, I felt like every time that I laned with you, I died.
But you saved me.
Well, yeah, and that you ended up getting a double kill against our lane.
So
every
it was well worth
time.
it. It was a 2-for-1
so
every time.
It really had worked out quite well.
It did.
Have you guys heard about the new feeding hotness?
Legion Commander?
No, this change to Aghanim Scepter on Phoenix. If you get Ag Scepter, you can now other heroes can come inside the egg. Okay, and if you kill the egg before the thing blows up, all heroes inside the egg die.
Perfect.
You can feed your entire team.
Absolutely.
Why would you want to go into the egg? For protection?
I have no idea. That thing.
I don't understand that thing at all.
You see that thing go, and you're like, "All right, free kill."
No, she's
Perfect.
She's still not on captain's mode at least. So.
For a reason.
Thank God.
Yeah. All right. So Brian, we'll move over to you then.
Yeah.
Whom did you play?
Some Omni Knight.
Okay.
My first 6.82 game was on Venomancer.
Okay.
That was a win.
Yeah.
And then I played some Ember Spirit, some Bane, some Dazzle, and good old Morena.
Oh yeah. You know, I played some Mirana too actually this past week.
Did you really?
I did.
How'd it go?
Bad? Good?
weird. I don't know what the hell is going on, but
she's not your style.
I kept leaping instead of hitting my arrow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what you want.
That's a bad situation.
That's great.
I don't know what I was thinking. So I must like have a hero in my mind that she needs to be.
Probably.
So I have like her W and E mixed up. So I kept like hitting the E to stun.
Yeah.
And it would leap.
Yeah.
So I kept
That's literally
dying.
like the exact opposite of a stun.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well, I got
that didn't go well.
It sounds like it went real well.
I got that new set from Marana.
Oh yeah.
That
it's pretty
new
cool.
cold weather set or whatever. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Is she wearing thermal underwear?
Well, one would assume.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I don't think it explicitly tells you one way or the other, so I'm not sure. Is it in the description of the item? I don't think so.
It's not explicitly in there, no.
Well, I'm gonna fantasize with that. Now.
Getting real weird here on We Like Dota.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
Okay. All right.
Moving
folks. Well, as we alluded to earlier, it's time for Noobs Patch Noobs, aka a new patch came out. Let's talk about it. That's the news for this week.
That is the news.
That's this week, right?
So we're gonna spend
6.82.
the next 5 hours talking about this.
All right, strap up, kids. Strap up, strap in.
Hold on to your
Saddle up,
butts.
saddle up.
Saddle up.
Saddle up, strap in. There we
Yes.
go.
And just to clarify for our listeners, by 5 hours he means about an hour to an hour and a half, like normal.
Yeah.
Just so you don't get scared away.
Okay. So
That's fair.
I think it's fair to say that's not actually going to be 5 hours.
That's fair.
But anyway, patch 6.82, Rekindling
82.
Soul, dropped on Wednesday, and there's already been about 4 patches to the patch.
Yeah.
Probably all very necessary.
Hot fixes.
Yeah. Hot fixes, right. But yeah, the big theme of patch 6.82 is Shadow Fiend got a model rework and Arcana.
I tell you what, he looks nice now.
He does have a strange beak now,
Yeah,
but I'm okay with the beak.
Yeah.
Do you feel like he's been overlooked? Like, this does not feel like Shadow Fiend's patch.
No, but I tell you what, I've seen a couple games with him, and he's still really good.
Well, he's a good... It doesn't feel like his patch. Like, the Wraith King patch felt like the Wraith King patch.
Right, yeah.
This one's... It's just, I think 6.82 is just so much going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
there's so
doesn't
many
feel
other
like
things
that.
overshadowing it.
Yeah, it just feels like,
Yeah.
oh,
No, that's
we got
fair.
more Shadow Fiend stuff.
Yeah.
so.
The Arcana does look really cool.
The
though.
Arcana is really cool
He's
looking.
like on fire.
How much is that thing?
$35.
Is it 35 still?
I would imagine they're almost all
Sweet
been 35.
freaking lord.
Let's get a real time price update.
That's
here.
all right, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, the Shadow Fiend model rework, that's a big deal. And it was a lot. I think it was nice. That was the one that we got from
that's fine.
from
For the
the
$34.99.
Yeah, 35.
God, good lord.
Yeah, that was from the compendium.
Cool. Okay. So,
Yeah,
the people
I
what
don't
they want.
necessarily know if he was the one that needed a model rework.
No.
I still wanted Slardar to get the rework.
yeah, that thing
But
yeah,
looks weird.
I'm
not mad.
I didn't dislike his model before, and his new one doesn't seem that different to me.
Right.
No. Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
I think they could.
They didn't change him like they did like Storm Spirit when they changed
Right,
him.
that was pretty great. That was a drastic change. So
Yeah, you didn't see his weird nipples anymore.
right.
You don't
Yeah.
see those anymore.
Yeah. Much
Okay.
less areola.
Yes. There was a new treasure chest released. The Marana set is sweet. All the other ones are stupid.
Perfect.
I like the Spectre.
I might be a little biased here.
Yeah, I like the Spectre set.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
I know it's loud and crazy, but I think I like that. Have you seen the Spectre set?
I
She,
think
she belongs on
Like
a
Mardi
float
Gras
for
or
Mardi
something.
Gras.
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
It's pretty great.
That's what it-
yeah,
yeah.
I like it.
That's funny.
If you're into that sort of
I
thing.
think that was the only one that really stood out to me, but I think it's kind of fun. I know Cheeks like that one. I know you hate it, Brian, but that's okay.
So, yeah, hopefully we get it.
Yeah, I'm hoping to
Hopefully,
get it and
yeah.
I can use it. And
Yeah.
I don't know what they did to Spectre. I haven't paid that much attention to Spectre, but
Yeah, I don't even know.
if she's viable, I'm going to use her. and
I've
I'm
been
gonna
seeing
have
a
that
lot.
set,
I've been
so-
seeing a lot more
Yeah,
of her.
she
So.
probably.
Well, I can confirm I had a match where there was a Dazzle and a Shadow Shaman and then 3 cores on my team.
Okay.
We were owning at like the 30 to 35 minute mark. We should have won the game. Our cores dicked around the whole time.
Perfect.
I'm like, guys, we need to push. This is going to be bad. There was like a Spectre, a Phantom Lancer, basically 5 hard carries on the other team.
Right.
Once 50
yeah, they're
minutes
going to
hit,
win that one then.
we got destroyed.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna happen
Steam
every
truck.
time.
I can confirm Spectre can still kill you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So there's that.
I mean, she wasn't bad before. It's just
No.
not a hero I usually
Yeah.
use.
Yeah.
Another feature that was added is the Courier Morph.
This thing's really neat.
That
Very
is fun.
exciting.
Yeah.
I'm sad that I got rid of all my couriers now.
You
I-
did?
No, I still have
Oh,
some. But
I was gonna say,
I
I
can
don't
trade
think,
you
but
some.
but I haven't really kept. I mean, I haven't sought after
I think I have
them.
14 now.
Yeah, I mean, I sell my couriers,
Which
quite a
makes
bit.
sense because previous to this,
I didn't do
as
I
a
didn't use
carry,
them,
you're
yeah.
never buying it, so you never
Right.
get to see your courier.
But now I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So what happens is when
It's
you
really
when
sad.
you
It's
click
sad.
to have your courier items transferred to you, the courier transforms or morphs into the courier that you currently have equipped.
What is it? What is?
Yeah.
I keep missing the actual morph. Is it just like a puff of smoke? Is it a? What does it look like?
Oh, that I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Has anybody paid attention to it?
I have not.
I imagine it's like a smoke or like a gradual.
Yeah, I would imagine
fade
that
in, maybe.
too.
I'm glad you're here, Ben, asking the hard questions.
Well, you have no answers for me.
I would like to get a screenshot right between the
Yeah,
morph
what
and
is-
see like if it's like
I mean, it's
an overlay
neat either
or if
way,
it's
but-
creepy and weird.
Does the new courier come from like an alternate dimension?
Right.
Does the courier come from another dimension where another Dota 2 fight is happening?
Maybe.
Another Mad Moon fight?
Did they change the default courier? Is my other question.
I don't think so.
It's
For some
Still-
reason, I keep getting like a baby Roshan. I don't think I have a baby Roshan courier. Maybe I do, and I just
You
don't know
must.
it. I must. I guess I do.
I think you do.
Okay.
I know the
don't
donkey's
know,
still the default, but a lot of people have that warthog that you get from
Yeah,
the
that-
train.
Yeah,
damn
no, this is a
warthog.
baby Roshan.
Now, the one thing I do wish with this, is like if we have it on shuffle, it would change every time.
Oh, that doesn't.
Oh, that would
Oh,
be
it's
cool.
because that's
See-
all selected before
yeah,
the match,
exactly,
right?
exactly. So
That's a bummer.
yeah, it is. I mean,
I wish shuffle would change your wards every ward you place too. That'd be
Volvo,
cool.
that would be
fix.
really neat.
Come on, Volvo.
I still have the
Seriously.
free-to-play camera wards.
Yeah.
Still digging those.
Those are
Oh yeah,
cool.
those are really nice.
Not wanting to change those.
Yeah, and I have the nice warding guys.
Yeah. So now you can
Those
get
are
it.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's nice though because if you really want a pink rabbit flying your gear out to you, you can have that.
Totally.
Even if the other person wants a dragon or something.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or Coco. That Coco's cute.
I like Coco.
He wants to come and give you drinks.
Yes, exactly.
The
He's got
bummer
that.
is though when you have a team that all like kind of put in on a courier or like we planned on you having the good couriers or
Right,
something.
yeah.
That they changed that. So you
Yeah,
have to
that's true.
beg for your couriers back, I guess, if you gave them all
Give
your
'em back.
support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Okay, next change. In Dota TV, the fight recap was added in.
Yes.
This thing's really cool.
It really is. Now, do we know that? Did they basically just steal it from what Beyond the Summit was using? It's very similar, is it not?
It doesn't look the same, but like the same information's all there. It shows
Yeah.
cooldowns.
What cooldowns were used?
Cooldowns were used. XP
Gold and
and gold
XP
changes.
yeah.
So it's just a pop-up overlay. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it like shows up under the portraits at the top.
Okay.
Like right
And
under
it-
the clock.
It just shows like a grid of who used what.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's kind of neat.
yeah, one
But,
interesting.
but it's not for live, right?
right.
It's just
Yeah.
For,
Yeah. You have to be in Dota TV to use it,
excuse me. Yeah. Okay.
Or be casting a game.
but you cannot
Casters can use it.
Wait, so if you're casting a live game, can you use it then?
Yeah.
be if you're in
Okay.
Dota TV. Not all casters can use it. I don't think.
How would you not be on Dota TV if you're casting?
Does it have to be a league ticket? Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah. I think it has to be on a ticket.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, we'll see in
Yeah.
about a week.
Yeah. Or it could get a hot fix and it doesn't matter anymore.
Actually, in about 3 days.
Yeah, it could all change, right? Everything.
Yeah.
could change.
Everything's subject to change in 2 minutes.
Right. So that's cool. Okay, so one major change that happened is the Roshan pit was relocated.
Yeah, the map was actually changed.
Yeah,
I
it's-
believe
it's-
the first time since
Ever?
Yeah,
or at least
ever.
a long time.
Since
right?
I've been playing
probably
the
not
game.
probably not ever, but it's certainly
in quite a while.
drastically
At least.
since
Yeah.
Dota 2's maybe been out, maybe ever. I don't
It
know.
hasn't changed
Yeah.
since I've been
I
playing.
can
it.
confirm since 6.78, I believe.
There
is,
you go.
Is when
Yeah.
we started. So
So basically, the Roshan pit and the Dire Ancients swapped, essentially.
yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Ish, yeah.
Generally.
Yeah, and I mean there were a lot of little other subtle changes.
There's some
Yeah.
shifting going around.
Yeah, a lot of pathing changes within the tree lines.
Yeah.
A lot of changes there,
Jared,
The
can you maybe...
pit, the pit looks more menacing. I like that.
and
Yeah.
it's a
If
hell of
you're-
a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Yeah, it's different.
Jared, could you maybe break down why this was changed?
I think honestly, it had a lot to do with this idea that the Dire has an advantage being able to access Roshan easily.
Yeah.
And the Radiant have an advantage in their off lane. Mm-hmm. So
Which I think statistically was shown it's not
as
huge advantage.
it's not a huge advantage, but I mean,
Yeah.
it was pretty significant. I think.
It was to the point where during TI3, whenever Alliance was able to choose what side they wanted, they picked Dire every single time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
That's a big deal then.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then also the fact that the Dire offlaner could very easily stack the ancients.
Yes. That was
So-
a common thing to do with Beastmaster or Tinker
Absolutely. Or Tidehunter.
or Tidehunter with that anchor smash.
Yep. So I think that was a lot of it, was just being able to even out those two a lot, making the Roshan Pit a lot harder to get into and have vision around.
Well, let me ask you this: Roshan Pit relocation, Dire Ancient relocation changes. Recommend or don't recommend?
I think it was good.
Okay.
I'm really curious to see how the rest of everything plays out with just getting used to the new paths in the tree lines.
Yeah, you and I were talking on the way out here, and you said there's just a lot of things to kind of
It's
discover.
very different, yeah.
You said you were in on some bot matches and just messing around with it, which is
Yeah.
pretty neat. It sounds like there's all kinds of new juke spots and some changes
especially the
that way.
Dire off lane, tons of juke spots.
Oh, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Radiant off lane now has this crazy back path from the secret shop.
Yeah.
Where that offlaner can get ganked super easy now.
You know, if you want to hide there as Mirana and throw a couple arrows,
Yeah, whatever.
out there.
Yeah.
Not that I've done that or anything.
No, but right. So I think that's pretty major. Then they also added some of those high ground warding spots. They evened them out because it was,
Right.
Yeah, I gotta
of
take a
weird.
look at some of those ward spot changes.
yeah, they're pretty significant.
It's going to
Yeah.
be different for sure.
It was funny, like with the Roshan Pit changes, I was playing support in a couple of pub matches, and I was like, I don't know where to put wards now.
Yeah, they did change it.
I'll
Wait a
just
minute
put it
here.
right here at the
Yeah,
peninsula.
I think your main spots probably got taken away, right? Some of your go-tos.
My number 1 go-to was not. My number 2 go-to was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, though. The other big map change is the fountain is now elevated,
Yeah.
which I'm going to say is absolutely worthless at the end of the game when people fountain dive.
Not completely.
Well, not worthless,
I've-
but it's you're still going to get fountain dive.
I've noticed people don't do it as much.
They're scared now.
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wish that it was like a double uphill.
Yeah.
Where it was like a more increased percentage of miss.
definitely
There was a
wouldn't wanna do it.
landing.
Yeah. It's like a
Yes.
little foyer.
Yeah.
And then it goes up again.
Yeah, it's going to help with that, but I just
Yeah.
don't. And it doesn't matter. I mean,
Yeah.
fountain diving is what it is.
Yeah,
it doesn't
totally.
Really matter. I don't
Yeah.
think it's a big deal.
But yeah.
It looks. I like the way it looks aesthetically better.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
it's-
agree.
it's-
It does look a little more menacing as
I
well.
think so, yeah.
Yeah. A little more important.
Yeah, the fountain is very important.
Wasn't
I
that
like
weird? Like the first time you load into the new patch, you're already just like, what's going on? Where am I?
The whole mountain. Yeah, the whole map.
This doesn't look like my home.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Okay, next big change. The rune system was
Yeah.
kind of changed a little bit and augmented.
Was kind of changed a little bit.
it was
Brian,
changed a lot.
what are you talking about? Kind of
So-
changed a little bit.
So yeah, this I think is going to change the game pretty significantly in my mind.
It seems
Yeah.
like one of the goals, and I can't get into Ice Frog's mind here, but it seems like he wants.
We don't even know if Ice Frog exists or
He
not.
may not be a real
Yeah.
person, but
That's a good
it seems
point.
like one of the goals he had
Conspiracy
this
theory.
patch was definitely I want more heroes moving around more often.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we see this in combination with the teleportation scroll is lessened, and it seems like
That's a good point.
We want more mobility, we want more fighting and conflict, and he's drawn people to these different areas, making it
Right.
easier for people to go to different areas.
Choke points being a lot more significant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ganking a fed hero is more significant. I think if
Right.
we're just looking at this patch overall, it's like
Well, and I think the idea was to kind of counter that quote unquote death ball, if you will.
the snowball, right?
Yeah,
I mean
exactly.
the snowball has been nerfed
So-
for sure. Not that it doesn't exist,
No,
but
yeah.
it's a different beast, and I think they want more conflict more often instead of maybe I don't.
passivity and
Yeah,
farming
maybe
and-
not the turtling, because even if you're behind now, there's kind of a draw there to still to go try to find a gank, because you're gonna,
Right.
if you gank the right heroes, you're gonna
You're
get
gonna
more
get a lot of gold.
and that's maybe the way to. And the bounty rune helps with that
Absolutely.
too. So, but yeah, go ahead and why don't you review the rune changes, Brian?
Yeah. Well, to start out with, 2 runes now spawn every 2 minutes. So there's no more. If you don't have anyone warding, there's no more guessing at which ward spot.
You're guaranteed
the
a rune
A
at
rune
the
of
rune
some
spot.
sort, yeah.
And then there's also a bounty rune added, which gives you, I believe, it's 100 gold plus 2 times the minute, the current minute.
It was 50. I don't know if
I think it's
it
50.
got changed
Okay.
since they've put
And
the
then
patch out.
It's the same experience, I think.
but it's experience plus 5 times whatever the minute.
There's
is or
a
something.
Yeah.
multiplier on it, and so basically it gets better as the game goes on.
Yeah. It's
essentially.
basically
it scales, which is good.
Yeah, it's a scaling.
It's
scaling
basically
room.
like getting like a creep camp, essentially.
Yeah.
A little bit less.
Yeah, not necessarily, but I mean it's extra gold and extra XP.
Oh,
so
To start
it's
off
a big
with,
deal.
It's
for
significant.
support, it's 2 creeps, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think just as importantly, it'll
think it's
fill up
two
your
creeps, might be
bottle
one.
A
as
little bit
well.
less. It's like one and a
Exactly.
half, but
So I think this makes bottle for your offlaner way more
Or even a
viable.
support.
Or support, yeah,
I
way
think
more viable.
I mean, I think there's a reason they upped the price on bottle because bottle
Yeah, they could
becomes
see
so
that.
much more
they
viable.
could see that. Yeah, that was a good call.
And I think
it went from 650 to 700.
yeah,
Correct.
not a lot, but
Yeah.
enough. But again, if
Yeah.
you get the bounty rune once, that's paid for itself, right?
Right, yeah, totally.
And from my understanding, Jared, you and I were talking about this. You can bottle the bounty rune,
Yes.
and then it actually will activate on the at the 2-minute mark, the latest out, and it's
Yep.
actually activating. When you activate it, it's that current time.
I
is the
believe so.
multiplier, we
I believe
think.
so.
So you want to wait
Again,
until
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until you
fill it up again.
Yeah.
Need it
Again, like anything, we have no
until
idea.
you actually need the bottle.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have to actually use the bottle,
Yeah, if
use
you-
the freaking bottle.
if you
Don't
wanna-
just save it
yeah.
because you're going to get an extra 5 experience
Right.
points or whatever it is.
There's some strategy in when to use it. though,
Yeah, but for
essentially.
sure, yeah.
So, and again, like anything, we could be totally wrong. But
And
that was our
that is a
understanding.
good possibility.
Yeah.
I have seen dual mid start to become a little popular due
Yeah.
Interesting.
to runes spawning now. So you have better rune control.
Yeah, there's an argument maybe to be made for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Or you can always
I think being a
go from the lane to the
Yeah.
runes too. You just have both
Yeah.
lanes.
Yeah.
So
we'll talk about this more later, my predictions, but I think that it's going to be it's going to change the game.
Yeah, new
Oh, yeah, it
new
has
segment
already.
today.
Yeah.
Hashtag Brave New Meta.
Brave new meta.
Yeah. Are we doing hash? Well, we need hashtags.
Sure.
We need something for Cheeks to tweet out.
do we really
Yeah.
want hashtags?
The We Like Dota hashtag tracker.
You're anti hashtags. I'm really surprised you're even saying this.
I'm anti hashtag in a
Conversation.
in a sorority girl pumpkin spice latte.
I would say this is pretty much the same thing.
no hashtag Brave New Meta. That's
Pretty close.
Kind of. It's not like hashtag best day ever.
It's marginal. It's pretty close. It's
Yeah.
marginal. I
Yeah.
think it's marginal sorority girl.
I don't. Oh, okay. Well,
No.
what sorority girls are talking about Dota 2? First of all,
I would
you-
like to meet them.
Because if you would really just want to hashtag Dota 2.
yeah.
And then hashtag maybe 6.82.
But what if
Brave New Meta is just your own little clever thing to say,
What if
Brian.
Jared starts tweeting stuff,
Which I
predictions,
will do eventually.
predictions for the new meta, and he puts hashtag Brave New Meta?
Maybe I will.
Then I'm
Then you'll start searching for that stuff.
I
Ben.
won't start searching for that stuff because I'm only following Jared. If a lot of people are using it, it's different.
Yeah.
Maybe if everybody uses it, it will be fine.
It's gonna become
so
popular.
well. Let's
We are
challenge.
trendsetters.
Let's challenge the We Like Dota friends of the
We
show.
have at least
to
2
use
people
Brave
that
New
listen to
Meta.
this show.
Yes.
We haven't that to listen to the show.
At 3?
Oh.
Regardless,
Actually, a lot of
I
people
don't
listen to the show.
I
I
don't
know,
disagree with you, Ben.
Kidding.
Anywho, let's move on.
Yep.
New item added to the game, fellas.
Yeah, we talked about this a
Yes.
couple weeks ago. Remember?
Yeah, I had no idea what it did. I was not incorrect. I misunderstood.
Yeah.
The new item is called the Crimson Guard. It builds from a buckler, a vanguard, and a recipe.
Yes.
And,
And I've used it once and it was totally ineffective. But that's just one example.
yeah,
So
It was-
it could be great. I
it
just
was
haven't used
against
it
a
correctly yet.
Phantom Lancer at about 45 minutes into the
Yeah,
match.
I don't think I got it at the right time,
Yeah.
and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
Jared, break this thing down for us. What's going on here?
It's basically like a pipe, except it's for physical damage.
Perfect.
I love the concept.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. It really is.
We probably played a bit against like a magic damage team or something too. Who knows? We just
Yeah.
wanted to get it to.
Yeah,
to
you
get
definitely want to pick this one up if you're going
Yeah.
against some right clickers.
Yeah.
So,
It. Does this kill the or hurt the 5-man carry team?
kind of.
Yeah,
I think it hurts the mid game, 5
5-man carry.
5-man carry.
Yeah, it's maybe
Yeah.
not strong enough for the late game.
Yeah. So,
Because what it does, you activate it, and correct me if I'm wrong here,
I will.
you activate it, and for 9
If you know.
seconds, in an AoE around you,
900.
you give 900 AoE. This man's a genius. You give +2 armor to your allies,
I believe.
and then also a physical damage shield that blocks 50 damage from each incoming physical damage attack.
Yep. Each instance
For 9 seconds.
physical damage.
That's incredible.
It does not count like Exorcism. It does not count
Plague Wards.
Plague Wards. So there are certain things that don't count. But basically, any hero attack, and I believe creeps as well. Not entirely sure on that one.
That I'm not sure of.
It's definitely
Definitely
it's
heroes.
definitely filling a gap there in terms of items. I think it
Yeah.
does something new, which is
Yeah.
what you want out of
It's
a new
great.
item.
And it makes the Vanguard actually not
Right, it brings-
100%
Brings
worthless.
Yes.
Vanguard into the picture a little bit more.
I don't think Vanguard was 100% worthless. It just really falls off after
How
about
often
really
35
falls off.
minutes.
How often
If
did
you can get
ever
it at,
see
like,
it?
12 minutes, it's super effective.
Yeah.
And if you're playing anybody besides Bristleback, it's
I think Crimson Guard's going to be interesting. I'm
I do
sure
too,
they're,
yeah, no,
they're
I'm
going to
with
probably
you.
have to tweak it a little bit, but
yeah.
And you now buy Buckler for something else other than mech.
Yeah, so that time you accidentally buy the buckler when somebody else is building a mech.
you can
Right.
at least build it into something useful.
Yeah.
Right. Which will happen all the time on our team.
Sure.
Probably.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, new item.
Phantom Lancer and Bloodseeker both received a rework and have been pulled out of Captain's mode.
Wise.
They've been benched.
yeah.
They've been benched.
I'm surprised Ricky was not, but we'll get to Ricky later.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about the changes now or later? When we get to hear
we
about
mentioned it. Why didn't we talk
Okay.
about it now?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Phantom Lancer was changed. He still has, I believe it's 2 passes and 2 actives. And they changed
believe so.
it so that basically his big OP spell now is Doppelganger.
So that's his ultimate.
No, that's
It's
not.
not his
Oh,
ultimate.
I thought that was his ultimate.
No, I don't believe it is. We need to look this
Then
stuff
look
up
it up.
more. But he can now do a phase shift, like a 1-second phase shift, like how
Yeah.
Puck does it.
Yeah.
And when he comes out of the phase shift, he has 2 illusions with him.
Oh.
One that takes like illusion damage,
Yeah.
but does a higher amount of damage, and then it's flip flop for the other one.
One
I think
that
is how it works.
Yeah. Takes like
One that does normal damage or lower damage, but has a high HP or
I think
something
that
like
phase shift is so super annoying now on him.
Yeah, because
you can't lock the guy down.
Yeah,
now.
you can disjoint stuff like crazy.
Oh man.
And you can do it like you can spam it. So like all of a sudden you have like 6 illusions surrounding you and
Yeah.
you can't run away.
Well, and
It's horrible.
taking a look here, they changed his base agi from 23 to 29, which is
Yeah.
pretty significant. But then thank goodness they took down his agi gain, which was
Yeah.
an absurd 4.2.
It was the highest in the game, right?
of any stat gain.
Yeah.
Any stat gain, it was the highest in the game.
Right.
Like the second closest I think is Centaur Warrunner's 3.8 strength gain.
Yeah.
So it's significant.
Yeah.
But it took it down to a 3, so
And then I think he still has the Phantom Lance ability as well. I'm not sure if that's
That really annoying one.
So Spirit Lance is unchanged.
that's the one where you shoot somebody
Phantom
at you.
Rush is kind of like a charge ability. It's a passive
That's
basic
right.
ability for Phantom Lancer
That thing's
or his
kinda cool.
illusions to quickly close the distance to an enemy.
okay.
Doppelganger is a new ability for dodging immediate danger. I think that's the phase shift.
That's the phase shift one.
And then
yeah.
confusing enemies with deceiving illusions. That is an annoying ability. I hate that ability. And then Juxtapose is also kind of
Juxtapose,
annoying.
damn, yeah, that's-
now his ultimate and allows both Phantom Lancer and his illusions to create more illusions. So you get tons of Phantom Lancers on demand versus having to hit to get them. To
yeah,
trigger.
it's
so
you can.
That makes me want to vomit. I hate that guy.
He's a little less RNG based now, and I don't
Right.
think the illusions last as long, so he can't
Thank God.
split push as easily.
Yeah.
But if he's in a lane, like he can take a tower down real easy.
I bet.
Yeah.
yeah, and I think
that guy.
I think Doppelganger is just I can't get over that. That's the
It's
one that bugs me.
really good, yeah.
Because one thing you could do is if you caught Phantom Lancer and you
And
got
you
the right
knew the-
one,
yeah, you got the right
you
one.
could lock him down and you could just take him out.
Yeah,
this
right.
way you can avoid that lockdown a little bit, and it's just
What's
really
the cooldown on that?
obnoxious.
I think you can spam it. It's spammable. I think. But
Hold
yeah,
on, no,
I think
it's 25, 20, 15, and 10, so pretty close to spammable.
I think what you got to
Yeah.
do with this against Phantom Lancer, like
Ugh.
if you can, if it makes sense, like because you just get surrounded so easily, like get like a Force Staff or something and Force Staff out of that thing, or
Get the hell out of there.
yeah.
His
Yeah, I don't know.
His illusions both work differently now, too. I don't know if you guys knew that. Illusion 1 deals 0% damage and takes 100% damage. Illusion number 2 deals 20% damage and takes 600% damage. So,
Yeah.
2 different illusions.
Well, and that's from his Doppelganger ability, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I don't know. It seems like the general strategy for playing against Phantom Lancer is still the same.
AoE.
AoE, finish the game early,
Yeah.
or I don't know, or just lose.
Yeah.
That's also a strategy.
That is.
But yeah,
Abandoned.
so we've played a couple of matches against Phantom Lancer. I know, Ben, you and I have, and we were doing okay against him until about 40 minutes in, and then we lost the game pretty hard.
I hate playing against him. I think that's really what
We
it
were
boils
doing
down
great
to.
because
Yeah,
I was
that's
playing
fair.
Witch Doctor, and I had Ag Scepter with Witch Doctor.
Okay, no, that's legit with that.
And that's really what kept
Yeah.
us in that match, because otherwise I think he would have had us. Because somebody fed him too in the other lane.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
was,
Yeah.
So it was a fed.
I would get
lane.
mad.
That's right. Yeah, I think considering we did okay then.
Yeah, Witch Doctor
yeah.
was definitely, if you're looking for a counter, it seems like Witch Doctor is probably a pretty good option.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
And
get
spend-
4,200 gold to get that eggs, and
Right.
then
It's
you'll be all
expensive.
right.
Yeah, just wait it out.
It's not too hard
I know.
as long as you have the space to do
and
it.
get the refresher orb on him too, right? Because you might need it.
BKB. Go BKB.
Yeah, BKB.
No, I know. I'm just saying you might
Yeah.
need that ultimate quite a bit.
And, yeah, no, that's true. The cooldown's actually pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Bloodseeker, how
60
did you guys
seconds.
feel about Bloodseeker now?
He's fine.
Yeah.
His new ability is really cool looking. It's the blood ritual thing.
Yeah.
It basically makes this huge AoE. And if you're in it after it goes off after 3 seconds, you're silenced, and I think there might be some other stuff in there, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But his Q ability, you know, that you cast on yourself to do more damage,
Yeah.
has been reworked.
Good.
Where whoever you cast it on deals 30% more damage, but takes 30% more damage as well.
So, kind of Mask of Madness style.
Basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
All right.
I think that's it. He still has no eyes.
Perfect. Okay.
Bloodseeker, right?
Well, he
didn't get a model
Yeah, he didn't get a
rework.
model rework. Not yet.
He's still got
kinda
those
needs
really
one.
weird legs. He's got like backwards legs.
Yeah.
I don't love
He's
his
got
model,
ostrich legs.
to be honest. Although it's, it's Bloodseeker. Like I do
Yeah.
think it's.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yeah, I feel like there hasn't been a huge amount of changes with him. Or there may have been, and I just don't know what they are.
Could be.
Yeah.
So the hero that I'm surprised did not get pulled from Captain's mode has to be Ricky. I mean, let's
He
talk
got a
about Ricky.
significant
let's,
rework.
let's talk about Ricky since we're talking about some reworks right here.
Let's talk about Richard. Richard had his base movement
Ricardo
speed.
Maru.
Base movement speed reduced from 300 to 290.
Okay.
Base damage reduced by 10. So basically, he's a shifty shooter now. Correct.
Basically, the biggest thing that changed was permanent invisibility is now a basic ability.
Yeah, that's nuts.
But okay, the
fade time
the
is-
fade time is crazy now. The fade delay went from 3, 2, and 1 to 8, 6, 4, and 2.
Yeah, but here's the thing. 4 seconds, they're going to get that at level 5, when normally you'd be getting
I don't think
3
it's too,
seconds at level 6.
And it's a
so,
one,
I mean,
and it's a 1 to a 2. I mean, I don't think it's too bad.
no, it's not too bad.
But that's if you're dumping all your points into permanent.
Well, I realize.
invisibility. Yeah.
But
he also gets the regen now while he's invisible. So
yeah, exactly.
that's a big difference
Yeah.
maker too.
But Blink Strike is now an ultimate and can target spell immune heroes. The Blink Strike bonus damage went from 30, 60, 90, 120 to 50, 70, 90.
Okay.
Blink Strike now has 3, 4, and 5 charges with a 30-second replenish time instead of a 20-second, 15-second, 10-second, 5-second cooldown.
So that's legitimate.
Yeah, so you can just keep spamming that thing,
Yeah.
which is...
That's nice.
It sucks. It's nice if you're Ricky.
Right, yeah.
If you're Richard.
Yeah. Ricardo Maru.
Blink Strike mana cost reduced from 50 to 40,
Okay.
and the cast range was increased from 70 to 80.
Okay.
So
I think pretty significant.
significant, but I think he needed it because I think he had one of the worst ultimates in the game. I think permanent invisibility was terrible.
Yeah, but it made the hero.
It made the hero, but
But it makes the hero get more now that it's just a basic ability.
I would agree with that.
I mean, it's still kind of iconic, but now we get something different for his ult, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
nice.
which
I
is
don't-
nice. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's basically what Bounty Hunter had.
Yeah.
With Bounty Hunter, you can at level 4 invis, you can pretty much stay permanently invisible.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just really surprised they didn't pull him from Captain's mode, just because anytime
Some
you're
drastic changes.
Well, and anytime you're messing with invisibility, that's just something that can really change the game so much that
Right.
I'm a little surprised that.
But still, by detection, you'll be fine.
it is not that you can't counter it.
Right.
I'm just surprised that they didn't. It's a major change for that hero.
Yeah.
I think.
Right. Jared, I can hear your baby.
I know. I feel bad.
The poor girl.
I feel bad for your wife.
Nah, she loves it. She loves this stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, what's next, guys? Let's see here.
Yeah, let's go back up to the top here.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about these new kill streak bounties.
Okay.
Okay, so oh boy, this is a hot topic on Reddit.
Yeah,
everyone was losing their butts over this thing.
Yeah,
After one day, everyone was freaking out.
They were pretty upset.
Yeah, but hotfix came in.
Yeah.
Pretty fast. Because it was needed.
Yeah.
I think that's why people were freaking out, and I think the hotfix came in because it was so desperate.
Now, here's a question. Do you think that they got it to the point where they wanted it originally right now, and they purposely overdid it to get reaction?
I don't
Yes,
think it.
I think so.
You think it was?
I think it's like a reverse psychology thing.
So you're saying like
I kind of think so.
so you're saying like foot in the door type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Or door in the face, I guess rather. But
Door in the face.
yeah. It's,
no, you're right.
it's the door in the face mentality where hey, let's I'm gonna just everything.
Yeah,
all at once, and then you're so overwhelmed. Well, okay, wait, I'll back off,
Yeah.
and then we'll just do half of that.
Yeah.
So you think maybe? I
And
mean,
that's getting 25% more than what you had.
genius on Valve. I mean, you got more than you would have gotten, right? Because now
Right.
the pushback is not nearly
Well,
what it would have been.
let's talk
so.
about what actually happened.
Okay.
Well, tell me how the bounties did work. That's probably a good starting point. It was a lot of gold for killing a hero
Well,
that
yeah.
was
So
really fed.
so basically, the formula changed for what happens when you kill a hero that was on a kill streak, and if you kill a hero that has a high net worth and you have a low net worth, basically you got more gold.
Right.
So
and the multiplier for the assist or the people around was kind of changed significantly as well.
So what would happen is if you're on this huge kill streak and you die, you could end up feeding like
An entire heart.
2,000 gold to a team.
It was like
I don't think it was an
3,000.
entire heart.
It was like 3,000,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was close.
That's kind of getting into hyperbole territory.
A little bit.
Everyone was exaggerating this thing a little bit more than what it was.
It was a substantial amount of gold.
It was
though.
substantial.
I mean, it was.
I had a team fight where after the team fight, I was able to right click buy a mech.
That's impressive.
So there's
Yeah.
at least that.
Yeah, and I did see one
And I was
where
poor.
yeah, right. I saw an Earthshaker get 2 kills in a team fight, and he
Yeah.
did right click a heart.
Jeez.
So
Yeah.
But so essentially that's how it was, and then
Yeah.
they halved it like the next day. They were
Yeah.
they certainly reacted fast if it wasn't
yeah,
planned.
and that's why I kind of have an inkling that
Yeah, but how
they
many-
kind of knew that there was going to be an outrage.
How many lines of code is it that changed that though? I mean,
I don't know. They could have had it prepared.
I don't think it
You
would
know,
take. But I'm just saying I don't
Right.
think
Yeah,
it's
you're
much. It's a number change.
You're just
So-
changing a couple numbers.
Yeah, I don't think it was probably that.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were complaining about even just the mechanic in general. They weren't really a big fan of because they called it, rubber banding, like, Mario Kart, where the person in last place gets
Gets
the blue shell.
the blue
every
shell.
time. Yeah. That's a good point.
Which I think now with this new change, it puts it into a good territory.
Right.
But I think it's more so to punish stupid play.
Yeah, I would agree with
there's
that.
a mentality to
It still punishes mistakes for sure.
yeah, it's to punish mistakes, right? Once you
Right.
get so far ahead, there's a mentality of just
You need to be careful.
doing whatever you want, and now that's not the case.
Yeah, now
it's-
you have to.
We can't deny it's a spectator sport,
Yeah.
and it's more exciting. Just like Mario Kart's more fun to watch or to play when everybody has a chance to come back. And win.
Right. That's true.
It's going to be more fun to watch these games, or even to play these games if
Yeah.
you're not. I mean, I don't know if this was
Yeah,
done
if
for the
there's going to be a
casuals.
comeback mechanic.
Yeah, is it for the casuals or the pros? I don't know which way, but I think either way it plays into either being more fun to watch, because I know one of the more boring things you can have in an esport is these totally one-sided matches, right? Those are not fun to watch.
Right.
It's not
or
good
a
for-
10-minute GG.
or a 10-minute GG. So either one of those is something to avoid.
Yeah, and it's to kind of nerf the snowball lineups a little bit more.
Right.
But I don't think these comebacks are as drastic as what everyone was making it out to be, because
I would agree with that.
if you're getting these huge gold bounties, the people that were ahead are so far ahead.
now they're not,
That it's
though.
not going to make a huge difference.
Well, but
it's going to help you out.
But initially, it was huge. We saw like
Yeah.
20% changes in win rates based on these changes initially that first day.
which I think was needed.
No, that is ridiculous. Any change that was Brian and I talked about this a little bit earlier this week. Any
Yeah.
change before between patches was like maybe a 5 to 7% swing.
Right. You mean,
20%
like,
in
in
terms
here-
of like the time in the match And
okay.
I mean, it was just in the gold lead.
Yeah.
I mean, the percentage changes were absolutely astronomically different at some of the gold advantages, and I think it was way too extreme. It was not a marginal change. It was extreme change. Now I don't know what the numbers look like, but a 20% swing.
Did you look at some of those from before 6.81 though? They were
6.78 to 6.81. Those changes were all very marginal. They were big, but they were not 20% big. I mean, it was a huge. And I'm off a little bit on my number, but the difference in percentage change that caused was astronomical. It was way off from any of the other patches, which I think you would say that 6.78, 6.79, 6.8, some of those had better catch-up type mechanics, or you can have a hard farmer. So they overshot it, I think is what it boils down to. They overshot it, and they obviously picked up on that because they patched it. It was desperate. If it would have stayed the same, this was a totally different game. And obviously
we'd be playing League of Legends then.
Well, not necessarily, but 6.82 is already very different. But it was just to change a game that much. Well, they way overshot it.
Well, yeah, no, and it was exactly the same thing that happened like between 6.77, I believe, which was TI3 era, and 6.78, because there was a huge shift in the meta there, because the meta in 6.77 was like that huge like split push era kind of deal.
Which I think they're shooting for a change in the meta, but
right.
You want to still allow some of that old strategy to still work. Maybe it's harder to use. Maybe you've made something more viable. This was just shutting down some things. It was just
but my point here was that they were changing. A lot of those were hero-based changes.
Right. This is meta-wise change.
Yeah. They had to change the way the game worked more than they changed the way heroes worked.
This changed the way the game worked to a point that some heroes are now viable again.
That's a very good point too.
That's important and that's purposeful, but they just overshot it, and they obviously picked up on it. It's good. Which is good.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they nerf it even a little bit more.
Yeah,
they might. I
think something needed to happen though, because in the previous patch, all you had to do was take the tier 1s, and then you were unstoppable.
Yeah, I just think at the pro level, you tweak it.
Yeah,
you don't like totally rework it to that point. Right. I think they did too much.
Yeah.
Again, with the casuals, maybe not, but with the pro level, it just seemed like that was way too much. Especially, I mean, you saw the reactions on Twitter, and
it was a little crazy.
I mean, that was. Yeah. I think people were panicking for a reason. I don't think we'd want to. I don't personally. I'm not against them panicking. I think they were right to panic, and I think.
Granted, I'm not.
A quick reaction. I'm not a quick hotfix. I think shows that they were right to panic.
Yeah, and granted, I'm not a pro player in a tournament or anything like that, so that makes a little bit more sense why people were freaking out. But I don't know, like. If people could have just waited a couple days, wait and see how this thing shakes out.
I think it was too bad. I think they had to react faster because of how bad. There's tournaments going on.
Oh yeah,
and this was so out of whack. I mean, that percentage change on some of those numbers was so crazy.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, you were looking at like a gold lead meant nothing. I think it was like a 52% win rate or something for a gold lead. So essentially, the early game didn't mean anything, or at least nearly nothing. And that's a huge change versus what was the first blood win rate before. I mean, if you got first blood, that was a huge deal, and so all of a sudden we have this huge change, and you're even just thinking, okay, maybe if they're going to win 52% if they get the first kill or get the 1,000-point gold, you would think the team often that gets the first kill is the better team anyways. So we're saying that maybe the catch-up mechanics aren't even letting the best team win the way they're set up, or they've changed it so much that you don't know. I think it was just way overshot.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that.
Ben, did you think it was way overshot?
I thought it was way overshot.
Okay. Yeah, good.
I really couldn't tell.
Yeah, well, I think Brian could have given it 3 weeks, and it would have been awful for the pro scene.
I just wanted at least...
There's money on the line.
I wanted at least a week. Yeah, and I totally get that. That makes sense, but... Yeah, I mean, this stuff isn't in a vacuum, so...
No.
I get it.
Yeah. But I think we'll see how this goes. I'm fine giving this some time.
Yeah. I freaking hate it how the internet just gets on these hate trains where one person goes, this is an outrage, and everyone, the 10 people over here go, this is an outrage, and then, all of a sudden all of Reddit is like, this is an outrage.
But sometimes it's valid, and I think this was valid.
No, I think it's valid. Yeah, I agree. I'm just complaining about the internet.
They overreact. They're going to overreact to everything, but let them, and maybe Jared's right that they wanted them to overreact, and that's the point. So... But
there might be a grain of truth in that.
yeah, I mean,
But-
and there's certainly they overreacted about this instead of the bounty rune or one of the millions of other changes that are in this patch.
Right? Yeah.
I mean,
No. Exactly.
this is
The
definitely-
Roshan pit being a third of the
I
size.
mean,
of the old
maybe
one.
this is the red herring that Valve wanted everybody to concentrate on, but I think it was broken. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we can all agree. I know that Sing Sing was, or people had been talking about how Sing Sing wound up giving like 4,000 gold to another team because he was fountain diving. You shouldn't be doing that if you're ahead that far. You shouldn't
Right.
be playing like a moron.
But they changed the whole risk reward level of the game. I think that's the big difference. Is like the whole playstyle changed so drastically. I don't know. It
Yeah.
was,
No, I
it was-
would agree with that.
It's too much.
Definitely.
It was just too much.
I don't know if you're playing in a style where you can get caught out and ganked by the other team. I think you deserve to lose that gold.
Kyle.
Well, but they were losing
hope you're listening.
too much gold.
Oh, you're right. I'm not arguing that. I think you should lose some gold,
Well, yeah, I like the way it is now. We'll
Just-
see how the numbers
just
shake
not-
out now.
just not Heart of Tarrasque gold.
The game needed to tweak, and we needed to have some of these
Yeah.
harder carries, late game carries,
Right.
have a chance now. And I think they did the right thing. They just too much.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
And I think one of the very good ways they did this was the next point here is they reset the glyph reset.
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's a good idea too.
Yeah, see, that is something that I think is really, it does help. It does help.
Oh yeah, it's good.
You know, I think I've played 3 games or 4 games or something on this patch, and
Yeah.
it's legitimate.
I think
mean,
what it boils down to is with all these, there's so many changes. That one bounty change overshadowed all the other
No,
changes.
I would agree with that.
And that's the problem with it. Is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all these changes together should have changed the meta and changed the way the game was played. When that one change made almost all the other changes almost irrelevant for a while. It's like that's the change everybody cared about at that point.
Right. Oh, no, I definitely agree.
And now it's like, okay, all these things matter again instead of just that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I thought if anything, the rune change would have been.
which
Yeah,
it got overlooked because of the
people
bounty
would've been
change,
freaking
right?
out.
I mean, who was
Yeah.
talking about the runes? They were all talking
Right.
about the bounties. And I think the runes are part of that bigger picture of let's allow a catch-up mechanic.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I think they help with that too. I mean, you got gold sitting there in the river. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But Brian, walk us through the glyph changes.
Yes. So with the glyph of fortification, after any of your tier 1 towers go down, your glyph resets
Every single time.
every single time.
Even if you
Great.
deny
I
it.
like that.
Yeah. Even if you deny it.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So yeah, that just kind of slows down the death ball,
Yeah.
which is nice.
So basically, now, guys, always use your glyph on your tier 1s.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Especially, people get mad
That's
at
a
me
good
about
point,
this,
yeah.
but you want to use it to prevent damage. You don't want to be using it once
Because
a creep wave has taken it down 25%.
I would agree with you, because who knows when they get a chance to damage it again. It might be 5 minutes and your glyph might reset again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, it's possible. You know, I wouldn't say as soon as, there's one creep hitting it, but if there's a significant wave on it and it's early and there's no other heroes up there, glyph that bad boy.
There's certainly,
Glyph that
there's
bad
certainly
boy.
better times to use it than others. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that you can be a little more liberal with it now.
Oh, well, sure, because you know that if you're going to lose your tower, it's back.
resetting, yeah.
it's back
Yeah.
anyways.
Another big change.
Do you want to talk about ranked all pick or no? Do we want to skip that one?
Well, you brought it up, so we might
like
as well.
I'd like to talk about it because I think it's kind of different.
Yeah, I like it. So
Yeah.
the way that all pick works in ranked mode now, this is not unranked. Unranked is still terrible.
Yeah.
But in ranked
Still
mode,
free for all.
Yeah, unranked still.
in ranked mode, you have, I believe, 30 seconds to talk strategies with your team.
Right.
Talk about
Which that's
poop or
probably still
whatever.
useless, I would
Yes.
imagine, unless
Yeah.
you're actually with people that you're playing with.
You just have 5 people who go mid or feed.
Mid or feed.
right. But at least
And-
you get that to know where you stand.
Right.
I
So
suppose.
And I say mid and feed.
Mid and
yes.
feed, yeah.
And the way that it works is each team takes turns picking, and like if it's my team's turn to pick, any one of the people on your team can pick a hero, and then once anyone picks, it goes to the other team.
So whoever picks sniper first gets it.
Correct.
You're still racing against your own team, but I think at least it gives you a picture of what the draft is going to kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use the term draft loosely, but what the team pick or the compositions are going to
composition.
look like. So
It feels
I think
like
it's great.
there's.
I think I'd rather play ranked now than
Oh,
normal
yeah.
anytime, just because of this. I think
Yeah.
it's a big change.
It feels like
I would agree.
it feels like there's a little more opportunity for some strategy there.
Right.
At least I don't, because sometimes you're sitting there waiting for 40 seconds. Are they going to pick somebody? I want to know if I need
Yeah.
to do a support or
Right.
a carry, and
Yeah,
then you
right.
pick, and then they pick right after you, and they pick wrong.
You
This way,
Oh,
Yeah.
let's be honest here, Ben.
let's be honest.
You're always going to pick a support, or you always
Well,
need to
you
pick a
probably
support.
need to, but
Yeah.
at least now you know for sure.
right.
Right. So yeah, you're always picking Wraith King because it can do either.
Yeah, exactly.
right,
Just
baby.
pick a hero that can go either. But yeah, I think it's a nice change.
That is a good change.
And also the damage types were
Yeah,
simplified quite a bit, which I'm a big fan of.
they were really convoluted and super hard to understand.
I don't know if this is still the case or not, but there, at least in the last patch, there was 6 different kinds of physical damage.
Right.
There was physical damage, and then composite, and then chaos damage, and like universe
HP,
damage.
Yeah, universal HP removal.
gosh.
There's a couple
Crazy.
weird things, I think, with some certain abilities and stuff, but I think for the most part, it's much, much clearer.
Oh,
Yeah, there's really just 3 damage types now. There's physical, magical, and pure damage.
Which
And then,
makes sense. Why do you need more?
Right. And then they kind of changed how magic immunity works. It's now
Yeah.
called spell immunity.
Okay.
And all spells are now tagged up with a
Spell penetration, I think is what it's
Pierce's
called.
spell immunity
spell
tag.
immunity,
It
yeah.
says
Spell
either
immunity.
yes or no
Yeah.
to indicate, because there was some fuzziness there with, like, if you had BKB, does the damage go through? Does the stun go through? You know,
right.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Should be relatively clear now.
Yeah. So now
So
with
it comes up on the actual, like, if you...
On your ability, you'll see a
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
no, basically, isn't it? It's just a yes or
Yeah,
no. I think
that's so
absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah.
So every spell now says what kind of damage it is, and then if it pierces spell immunity.
That's
which is
awesome.
nice. And then they had to
It's really
change
nice.
BKB around a little bit for it.
Yeah, this is a significant change.
Yeah. Well, it's basically the same thing.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
It did change. It changed the interactions
BKB
with some
itself
things, yeah.
changed a lot.
Yeah, BKB now gives you spell immunity and 100% magical resistance. So the magic resistance, basically blocks all incoming magic damage.
Right.
And then, you're not going to get stunned or anything as well.
Right.
But what they did change is...
Unless it pierces spell immunity.
Right, whatever it is. What they did change is the cooldowns on that are now, like, set on your hero. You can't buy a new BKB to
Right.
reset the cooldown.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like this or not, to be honest.
It definitely changes the item.
Yeah.
And it makes it a lot more... you have to be careful with it. My God.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
So
it's-
does this make Lincoln's a little bit more important
in some respects...
I think
Yeah.
it still depends on the hero.
in the situation,
Yeah.
of course, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it would change the build order of items a lot.
Ooh,
Because I think
yeah.
you might be getting BKB later than, or like 1 or 2 items later, just to have it be a fuller effect.
Yeah, it's tough because...
Right.
Or do you want it earlier to help you win some of those team fights earlier?
But then your cooldown's going to be so low late game.
And you're going to wind up feeding 5,000 gold to the other team anyway.
Exactly, because your kill streak is hopefully going to be really crazy. So
Right.
yeah, no, it definitely brings a different train of thought for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if this is a good change or a bad change, but I do like the change.
Well, I think the clarification
I'm a
on
fan
the
of
damage
change.
is definitely
Oh,
a good
God,
change.
good lord, yes, that
it's
is
so
appreciated.
nice.
That's
so
definitely a
appreciated.
plus for sure.
There's so much like muddiness and weirdness taken out of it all.
I almost understand it.
Which, if you're having trouble
more, yeah.
understanding it, then
Yeah.
we're all screwed.
Yeah, no,
No, there were too many different things that were going on, and it was
Yeah.
really too hard to.
and I
figure
never
out.
understood the difference between HP removal and pure damage anyway.
Yeah.
What was the difference?
I don't know.
Well, you shouldn't have to use a wiki to understand basic spell interactions. And stuff like that.
That's a good point.
That was the problem.
That's a good
So
point.
at least there's more
Well,
clarity
and I think that's bringing up a good point. Is I think that a lot of these changes are making the game much more accessible.
right, and it not necessarily like the depth of the game's not gone.
Exactly.
It's just now you at least understand the depth a little bit.
There's
better.
a beauty in this game that is the complexity of it.
and I don't think
And
that this doesn't.
I don't
kill
think that it
no.
changes it. I would agree with
Yeah.
that.
It's deep but not complex. Right?
Well, I think the difference
It's not
is
convoluted.
Yeah, exactly.
you don't
Yes, it's not
necessarily
as muddy.
You don't have to have as much like specific head knowledge to understand how something's going to interact. I think that's,
right.
I need
or
to know
12 years of experience playing Dota and Warcraft. Or
exactly.
whatever, so.
I think. I mean, you at least can look at it and realize this. You can just use your common sense and logic and be like, logically, this is how this is going to interact, and so I want to do this.
And since
Instead
this is magical damage, if I have more spell resistance, I'm going to take less damage.
Right.
Yeah.
Not like it's composite damage. So does that take my physical armor?
right. Let me
or-
alt tab so I can figure out
Yeah.
how this battle is going to play out. You don't
Right.
have to do that as much. There's certainly an element
Yeah.
of still needing to know the complexities there, but it's not
Yeah.
as extreme.
Yeah, Yeah, and most of it can be found now just by mousing over the
which
icons.
which it needs
So
to be in
great.
the game. You have to be able to,
Yeah.
No. I think it's good.
Okay, there was also some hero balances, and I think we're just going to kind of touch on some of
the bigger ones.
Some of the
because we're
bigger
already
ones,
running
yeah.
at what 75 minutes. I think this
Oh, are we
episode
really?
is
59 minutes.
perfect.
Oh, that's not too bad. We've got 2 new heroes in Captain's mode.
Yes,
Yeah, so
we have
2 were taken out.
Yep.
Bloodseeker and
Phantom Lancer.
Phantom Cancer.
Or Cancer Lancer.
Yeah, I like Phantom Cancer.
Phantom Cancer, yes. Legion
Or
Commander
Cancer.
and Terrorblade were added in.
Yeah.
Legion Commander, much to Cheeks of Flappin's chagrin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe I heard him cussing from across the United States.
when this
just,
got announced.
just
yeah.
don't get caught out.
Yeah, that's a good point. But Terrorblade easily can be the new Phantom Lancer, though.
Okay.
Really? All
So
right.
you think we're going to see a lot of Terrorblade? Huh?
Or the new
Not
Naga
necessarily.
Siren.
Yeah, he's a crazy split pusher for sure.
Yeah, he's
So,
an illusion-based hero, so
yeah.
get ready for that.
I don't think it's going to be as
So
annoying.
Mantis Gotti by.
At least he only.
Yeah.
I think he just gets 2 illusions, right? So it's not.
No, he can get so
Does
many.
he have more than that?
illusions.
Okay, I haven't seen him played much. So.
Yeah, he can get a lot.
Okay. Well, anyway, so we got Terrorblade, and then we've got Legion Commander in the game now. So
Yep.
we'll see how that impacts, if it does, the pro
Yeah.
scene, and then impacts
Yep.
the casual scene too, because obviously
Yeah.
that can be a big impact. I think
Well, yeah, when Terrorblade came into the game itself, you saw a lot of them right away, and he kind of died off.
he did kind of die off. I think
So-
Legion Commander obviously
Actually,
has
forgot
some-
he was in the game.
Yeah, Legion Commander has snowball potential, but we know that snowball potential is a little different now. So
Yeah,
it'll be
right.
interesting to see how that goes.
That's a good point.
So as we said earlier, Bloodseeker was reworked. Broodmother, her web mechanics were changed again,
She
and
kills a lot of trees now.
just go look them up, okay? It's going to be another 3 years until she's in Captain's mode anyway.
Yeah, she may
Yeah.
take a while.
Definitely.
A very cool change, which will probably never happen, but if you can get Aghanim Scepter on Chen, you can now mind control
Not
ancients.
true. I saw Aki do it.
Oh, get out of here. Are you serious?
Yes.
How did it go?
It was amazing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
At max level ultimate with Chen and Ag Scepter, you get
3
3 ancients.
ancients.
It's ridiculous.
It was nuts.
Can you get the mud golems?
Yeah, you can get any of them. You can get the dragons with the splash damage. You can get
great.
whatever. It was crazy too.
Oh,
he,
my
he got
goodness.
one of the giant granite golems.
Right.
Had 23 hit points or 2,300 hit points because of
Oh my god.
he gets the extra hit points from the
wow.
Chen thing.
Yeah.
And then they were ice armoring it. He had like the neutral creep that gives the ice armor.
Is this
Yeah.
broken mechanic or?
It was pretty nuts.
Yeah.
It was pretty nuts. But I mean, you
interesting.
have to get 4,200 gold on Chen.
That-
Yeah,
Which I mean,
Ben, let's not confuse broken with we gave Chen an advantage.
right.
yeah.
Well, I love new patches just because it brings some creative new play. I mean, you
It was pretty nuts.
you didn't see that last patch. I mean,
No.
that's what it boils down to.
Right.
Giant
I mean,
golem. I want to see that with tiny.
right.
Just like
gosh.
rocks everywhere.
Yeah, just rock guys everywhere.
On Clinks, the Searing Arrow is no longer a unique attack modifier.
Yeah, so I think they're just doing this along with, some other ones.
Grab a Desolator, wave goodbye to your base.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
always,
much.
it's fun to see when you get more items viable on more characters. I think that's good.
yeah, and like the change with Huskar, which we saw how much that did.
Death Prophet, the Exorcism cooldown was increased from 115 to 135, which
Negligible.
we all saw coming a mile away.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily not negligible. I don't think it's crushing to Death Prophet,
No.
but I think this in combination with the tier 1 glyph reset,
Yeah.
you're not picking her now necessarily to rush tier 1 towers.
Right, yeah.
You're grabbing her because Exorcism is really good in team fights.
Yeah. And it can take down a base
Yeah.
late in games.
Yeah.
I think it's a significant nerf, but
Yeah,
that's just
135 seconds. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
I mean, you can force team fights easily in that much time. So,
I just think
Yeah.
I think you're gonna want it, and it's not gonna be there. I think that's what it boils down to.
that's
so
yeah,
that's a
I
big
agree.
deal.
I don't disagree with that.
All right.
On Doom, the Aghanim Scepter is now needed to disable passives,
This is a pretty significant nerf. in
but
my
you
opinion.
also get the damage with that as well.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
So, well, this is kind of a change that happened across the board on a lot of heroes.
Yeah.
They took out the ability for you to disable passives, which is what happened to Faceless Void with Chronosphere.
Right.
So, Phantom Assassin will now live through Chronosphere.
Probably.
Another change that is really cool is Elder Titan. Elder Titan had some
Yeah.
pretty good changes.
So another hero that got an Aghanim Scepter upgrade.
which is what? Causes units that are pulled in by Earth Splitter to be disarmed in addition to being slowed. So disarmed means you're not going to be right-clicking.
Yeah, you can't right-click.
Yeah. The slow disarm duration increased from 3, 4, and 5 seconds to 4, 5, and 6 seconds.
But I think more importantly is his other change here.
Yes, the natural order change. The armor reduction increased from 25, 50, 75, 100% to 40, 60, 80, and 100%.
So he's viable a little earlier now.
Yeah, good lord.
Yeah.
40% base armor reduction at level 1.
At level 1.
It's so good.
That's so good.
It's pretty nice.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And then he gets
it's good.
He gets more magic resistance as well.
Yes, the magic resistance reduction.
Oh,
so this
reduction,
is against. It's your team.
Yeah.
If I'm Elder Titan, I'm lowering your magic resistance.
Yeah.
8, 16, 25, and 33% to 12, 19, 26, and 33%.
Basically, natural order, which was already a really good ability on him, is even better.
Right.
really
It's
fantastic
better
at level
earlier.
1.
It's better earlier. Yep.
Yeah.
And as
He took a while to come online before.
I would
so-
agree.
Yeah. And as we talked about earlier, Faceless Void, the Chronosphere no longer disables passives. So if you have a passive that gives you some survivability, you'll survive more.
More survivor ability.
Legion Commander is now in Captain's mode. Sorry, cheeks. Lone Druid. The Spirit Bear now has 300 mana.
Perfect.
So you can now use items on the bear,
Which is awesome.
with, like Mjolnir.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah.
The Spirit Bear using Hand of Midas now grants XP to Lone Druid.
Which,
This is great.
Yeah,
Because
that's
before
really
you
nice.
had to micro it back and forth, and
yeah, to get the attack speed to the bear when
Yeah.
it's on cooldown.
it wasn't horrible, but
It's unnecessary.
It wasn't fun.
Though. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that's probably why they changed it. It was not fun.
And it didn't make any sense.
right. Yeah.
They did something with Meepo, I think, too, to make it just. It was just an interface. type of
His
thing
boots now, like if you put boots on
wherever his boots are,
Meepo
they
Prime,
work, yeah.
they copied
Which
it.
it's an interface thing. It's a minor thing, but it just
It makes micro
it's
so
a
much
quality
easier.
of life thing that just.
I
makes
was
a lot
just
of
gonna
sense,
say
so.
that back in the World of Warcraft days,
Yeah.
we called that a quality of life change.
There you go.
Lycan
Guys are
saw
nerds.
some pretty some needed nerfs.
Yeah.
Shapeshift no longer grants 1.5 base attack time, which I don't even know what that is.
It basically made him attack faster.
Oh, okay. Oh, it like lowered his attack animation time. Is that what that is?
Right.
Okay.
So no, basically his basic attack time. So like he just hit
Yeah.
1.5 faster.
Yeah. Okay. Shapeshift cooldown increased from 100, 70, 40 to 120, 90, 60.
Okay.
Which that's 20 seconds.
Yeah.
That's
significant.
what Death Prophet saw. Shapeshift speed increased from 522 to 650.
So stinking fast.
he's now going over.
A haste rune.
Yes, that's
I
crazy.
mean, he's lightning fast.
Yeah,
He's-
and it is. It is.
It's absolutely
if you've
obnoxious.
played against one.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really is.
But here's the big change. Shapeshift now has a 1.5 second transformation.
Which I never understood why that was instantaneous anyway.
That's pretty nice.
So now you at least can try to get him before he's out of there.
Right,
Yeah.
and you can stun it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would assume
totally.
so. Yeah, I don't know why not.
1.5 seconds. That's
significant.
significant. Yeah. On Nature's Prophet, the Treants, the magic resistance was reduced from 20 to 0%.
So similar to what Visage Birds.
Yeah, you can nuke them down easily. This is one I'm excited about. Ogre
Well, not
Magi.
just excited about, but this is, I think, one of the biggest buffs I've seen in Dota.
It's,
okay.
Yeah, and this is it.
It's significant.
Base HP regeneration increased from 0.25
To
to
2.5.
2.5.
They moved the decimal.
Yes.
10 times
That's
more.
not a typo.
That's
No.
like an Office Space where that guy put the decimal point in the wrong space and accidentally withdrew like thousands of dollars instead of
Yeah, exactly.
cents.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's significant.
The Fire Blast damage was reduced. The 2x multicast chance increased from 25, 40, 50 to 40, 50, 60%.
Right. If
That's
you've
a good
ever
buff.
played Ogre Magi, you know that his level 1 multicast was pretty garbage. Because it is really just pure RNG.
Well, 40 at level 1's pretty big.
That's it's pretty significant.
Multicast spread interval increased from 0.3 to 0.4. I don't know what that is.
So like the first one, then the second one.
Oh.
So there's
Yeah.
a 1/10 of a second more time in between the two casts.
I think you can stun Lycan now during that time.
Exactly twice.
Yeah. Phantom Lancer removed from Captain's mode.
And we kind of went over
Everyone's
everything else.
Pissed off about him. Rightfully so. That guy's a jerk.
Yeah, that guy's a jerk.
As I said earlier with Phoenix, if you have Ag Scepter, you can now get people in the egg and you can kill them.
And yeah, you could die with her.
Yeah.
So perfect.
Razor, the plasma field minimum damage was changed from 60, 100, 140, 180 to 30, 50, 70, 90. So it's doing less damage if you're standing right next to somebody.
Consistently, yeah.
Yeah. So get close to Razor.
Yeah.
You won't die.
Static Link.
Which is probably how it was meant to be designed to begin with, but now
Right,
it
it
just
just- yeah.
works more like intended.
Static Link no longer ignores Lincoln Sphere, and the mana cost was changed from 20, 30, 40, 50 to 50
That's an ouch. Yeah.
at all levels, which sucks.
Yeah. And why did it ignore Lincoln Sphere?
I don't know. That's something I didn't know about. I had this,
Now you can use it to trigger a Lincoln, so that's something too, though, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you'd want to use it for that necessarily.
Probably not.
yeah. Eye of the Storm no longer lingers through Aegis reincarnation.
Which again, why was that a thing?
I have no idea.
Now, some of these just look like things were not working the way they should have been.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Exploits.
that static link mana.
Exploits.
I think the static link mana cost is the big
100.
nerf there.
Well, yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah, the plasma field's pretty big too, but
Ricky,
Yeah, I mean it's a nerf, but it seems like that's more how it should have been.
yeah.
Ricky saw some changes, which we already talked about. Skywrath Mage, the concussive shot movement slow rebalance from 40% at all levels to 30, 35, 40, and 45%.
Yeah, so a lot of these changes that we're seeing again are the changes that were values,
Yeah.
and now they're
Probably
you
a
actually need to
little,
skill,
probably a little too good for what they're worth.
for sure,
Concussive shot you can now disjoint,
which is good.
which is good because you can see that thing coming at you a mile away.
That is true.
Mystic Flare damage is now dealt over 2.2 seconds instead of 2 seconds, so a little bit
Interesting.
of a DPS change there.
Interesting.
Which that's
Okay. Yeah.
it's not insignificant.
No.
Sniper, the headshot now causes a 0.5 second 100% movement speed and attack speed slow instead of a 0.25 second stun.
Interesting.
So that's kind of what happened to Io.
yeah, exactly.
Basically the same thing, where Io's tether was changed from stunning
Yeah.
to just a movement speed slow.
Which I don't know. I think this actually makes him a little less.
I would think that's a nerf.
Yeah. Oh,
'Cause
yeah. I think
thinking
it's a nerf as well.
It's probably did that impact channels before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it doesn't do that anymore. I would
So you can
correct
TP
that.
away
So
now.
Yeah.
I would think that's a
Yeah.
big deal.
Against Sniper, you couldn't TP away because he gets 46 shots off in a second.
Yeah.
And they kind of counter that. They increase shrapnel.
Right.
Which
Went from-
shrapnel probably needed a little bit of a buff, so that's something. But
Yeah.
It's a good spell, though.
I think
It is.
that hurts Sniper overall.
I would
Yeah.
agree.
Terrorblade is now in Captain's mode. Tidehunter, the Anchor Smash. The damage reduction was reduced from 60% at all levels to 40, 50, 55, and 60.
So again, a
Ouch,
rescale.
yeah.
Yeah.
Another value point rescale, yeah. Timbersaw.
This is awesome.
This thing is cool. If you get Ag Scepter on Timbersaw, you now get 2
Chakras.
chakrams, which I saw a gif of somebody putting the chakrams out.
They're red and blue.
Yes, they're on the Radiant side, or no, the Radiant off lane side shop. Mm-hmm. They put the chakrams out, TP back to base, and recall them, and the thing tore out the entire left side of trees on the map. It's ridiculous.
That's awesome.
Is it still just like one cast then? Is that how that
No,
works?
no, it's
You
like
get
a dual
another,
cast.
yeah,
Oh,
you get
okay.
another spell.
Yeah, they each have a hotkey.
Oh,
get a-
they each have a hotkey.
you get a D.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Tinker, this is a big nerf to Tinker. March of the Machines no longer affects spell immune units. So Tinker doing Ancients,
Yep.
no more.
No more.
Yep.
Which is huge.
Oh yeah, that was like a
God.
legitimate build for a while. Was to just have a
That
Tinker
was
that would
yeah,
do Ancients.
Yeah.
On Treant Protector, Nature's Guise mana cost reduced from 90, 80, 70, and 60 to 60 at all levels, which is a value point.
Yeah, which becomes a value point.
Right. And he now has an Ag Scepter effect, grants a new ability, Eyes in the Forest,
Eyes in the forest.
which allows Treant to enchant trees to spy on his enemies and expand the area of overgrowth effects.
This is really neat.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I
You
don't
turn
know.
trees into wards.
Yeah, and when he does an overgrowth, it comes out of the trees too that he enchants.
Oh, that's great. Timbersaw is freaking out, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah, so Timbersaw, hard counter to Tree and Protector.
Yeah. On Weaver, swarm duration increased
Yeah.
from 8, 12, 16, and 20 to 14, 16, 18, and 20. Shikuchi no longer ignores invisible units. So wait, what was that? So you can damage invisible units.
Correct. You can chase down that Ricky who's always invisible now.
The Shikuchi damage was reduced, and more importantly, Geminate attack can now proc items.
That's the big one. I think the
really
damage
huge.
on Shikuchi it's a minimal change. Obviously, level 1 is the pretty big impact there, but outside of that, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Geminate attack, it's another one of those, opens up a lot of items for Weaver that he wouldn't have used before. That's really nice.
And he got a slight nerf to the cooldown at max
Geminate.
level with Geminate attack.
They kind of have to, I think. I mean,
it was 2.5, but it's now 3.
it's really, and it is slight is the right word for it. It's not a huge difference.
So, I think we're going to...
We'll see more Weaver.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, we're getting into items here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to save the items for next week.
Yeah.
Running a little long, so you can get more patch 6.82 goodness next week. And I think we're also going to hold off on the Hero of the Week until next week as well, since we're running a little
And
we should bring
long
Cheeks in, though, I think.
I think that
you know
should,
what? We still got to do our weekly segment here with friend of the show, Cheeks of Flappin'. Here we go.
Hello.
Welcome to the dense and impenetrable web of systemic bullshit we collectively refer to as Dota.
Hey, Cheeks.
Hello, Cheeks. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. It's good to be back.
Yes.
I'm full of spaghetti. I'm ready to go.
We're sorry you had to sit through an hour and a half of us talking about patch changes.
No, he's content. He's pasta filled. It's great.
It's-
He's in carb
honestly,
coma.
I wasn't even listening. I was chatting with people. Chatting with the people of the wonderful
Yes.
We Like Dota
How are the
community.
people doing today, Cheeks?
You are a man of the people.
How are they doing?
Well,
what are the people?
The
have for us?
people are chatting. They're chatting it
Okay.
up. There was
Okay.
discussions about whether arguments were positive or negative things. A little bit of the definition of arguments.
Okay.
Were we
'cause-
arguing? Were they responding to our arguments?
Well, no. They were saying they were having a discussion, but then I think one of them thought that it was an argument, but the other one just thought it was a discussion.
Oh,
And then
okay.
there was some discussion or arguing about the definition of arguments. It was
I think we were arguing like married couples who love each other argue in a very kind way.
I think we were discussing it. Sounds like they were arguing.
We should have been arguing.
I think it was a one-sided argument. Like I said, it's very hard to tell with tone in chat. I think everyone
it's
just
great.
assumes that everybody's being snarky in a chat channel.
That's
so
a good point.
Which is a fair assessment.
That is a fair assessment.
I think that's probably where it came from. But
It's my
other than
favorite
that,
form of
Accelerate
communication,
stopped by. Friend of the show, Accelerate stopped by and was giving me his opinions on who was most OP.
Okay.
What was the
And
thought?
he said that after this patch, the most OP was the Satyr Banisher.
Oh, okay. Why
Because
is
he got a
that?
buff which is going to ensure more neutral creep kills of heroes. So
Okay.
he said that was the most OP. So
Interesting.
watch out for that
Okay.
Satyr Banisher.
So wait, what happened?
Neutral
What
creep kills.
what happened to the Satyr Banisher?
I don't know. You're the one with the patch notes.
Yeah, I don't know
We
what the
have
hell I'm
notes on the
talking about
patch
though.
notes.
We're
actually.
gonna have to cover that one next week. We didn't get to that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's see what else is going on here. Oh, we were also talking about Accelerate was talking about how when the intergenerational, which starts this next week here, the
That's right.
WLDL starts this next week here. He was saying that when his team Boehner Soup versus my team Noobs Ask Noobs, he says we should do something wacky.
Okay.
And so we're trying to decide on what would be wacky.
Yeah, do something
propose-
wacky.
Yeah, you guys
Banner
go
Soup.
ahead and do that. Yeah, we're playing
I
to win.
propose-
We're gonna draft.
We're actually playing to lose, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I proposed a race around the map with brown boots only.
Oh,
The
yeah,
first
absolutely.
one take it all the way around the map, fountain to fountain without dying.
That's like in,
all the way
this
around the
sounds like
outside
a
of the
trap.
map.
We
would win.
we
This
used to
sounds
do
like a
this
trap.
in Halo 3.
yeah, the race mode in Halo.
We called it
was-
perimeters.
It was called perimeters. We
called it
used to do this quite a
perimeters.
bit.
You would get into the pit was the map, and you would just run around.
Well, we did
one
that.
one
That
team
was
would
the
go
best
one
map.
way,
Yeah.
and the other team would go the other way, and you could only shoot each other, but you couldn't stop.
For some reason, it was usually just our team that would do it, but
Yeah,
occasionally
the other
somebody
team
else
would never. The other team would never play.
Yeah, it was almost as fun as Benedict Arnold, which was also
Yeah,
a fun
Benedict
one.
Arnold was a great game.
and
gameplay.
pacifist.
Yeah,
And Pacifist went well. Hiding was always
Yeah.
boring.
This was us playing Halo 3 and trolling the internet.
Oh, college.
So nothing has changed since then.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Very,
great.
very little. The meta, we decided it would be called Meepo Kart, would be the name of this game
Meepo
mode.
Kart.
Meepo Kart.
Great.
And the meta, according to Accelerate, would be anti-mage with, what did he say it was? Anti-mage with, where's the notes here? Anti-mage with the quelling blade, he said would be the meta.
This sounds
And
like
I
a custom game mode.
I opted for Storm Spirit with a blink dagger.
Perfect.
So,
Make it happen.
that
Make it
does
happen.
seem-
Custum games are in. Make it happen.
I'm gonna go Luna and Force Staff.
There we go.
there we go.
Perfect.
Let's see. Well, what else we got? We were talking about, let's see, what else was up in here? There was a discussion about Monty Python because we had the discussion about arguments. If we got to the argument clinic skit.
Okay,
obviously.
fair enough. Yep, obviously.
And so there was
Logical.
discussion that there should be a John Cleese announcer pack for Dota 2.
Oh yes.
That'd be great. Yeah.
That would be pretty good. And then
Contact
apparently I heard about this, I think, on another Dota 2 podcast.
Well,
Sorry, I'm
there
cheating at
are
you
no
guys.
other Dota
Yeah.
2
Wait a minute.
podcasts.
Wait a minute. You're cheating on us?
How dare you?
They will remain nameless. I think I heard
That's
something
fine.
about a Space Jam announcer pack. I don't think this is actually legitimately in the works, but someone has somehow modded to use it. Or
I'm
something
waiting
like
for my Kazam. Where's it Shazam? It's
Shazam.
Kazam.
With
Shaquille O'Neal.
With Shaquille O'Neal.
That was Shazam, I believe.
I'm waiting for
Just
the
stay
Shazam
away from the
announcer
sports
pack.
ball references there,
Yeah.
Brian.
It was a good try.
Hey, Future Sport was a good movie, right?
Yeah. So is Rollerball.
What else you got for us, Cheeks?
what else we got. I think that's the majority of it. I do have some Noobs Ask Noobs here. I've managed to scrape
great.
from the Reddit some Noobs Ask Noobs
All
for
right.
us here.
Shoot those our way.
And guys, I'm going to be putting up a thread for October Noobs Ask Noobs, everybody out there. So
Perfect.
go ahead and start posting your questions there. No matter how ridiculous or how unridiculous, just go ahead and post those.
Absolutely.
All right. So our first question here is from Devon Ride.
Oh, yes.
So here we go. Friend of the show, Devon Ride, says, so what's the lineup here? Centaur, Magnus, Enchantress, Outworld Devourer. He has wings. He also has horse
that's
legs.
right.
So then, like, Coddle and Abaddon rotate because they ride on horses.
Yep.
I think we really need to lock down and get a few matches in.
that's
you guys
great.
are really onto something with this Centaur meta.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I
So
would
we
definitely
have
agree.
who do we have now? We have Leshrac,
Leshrac.
Centaur, Enchantress,
Yeah.
OD, and Bane. It's
Yeah.
that's the
And
lineup.
Magnus. Well, Magnus, too. Don't forget
Oh,
Magnus.
Magnus is there,
Magnus,
and
yeah.
and I mean Spirit Breaker kind of. Does he count? He's a space cow.
Well, if he counts, then so does Earthshaker.
He'd be on the bench.
Well, but Earthshaker really doesn't have anything to do with space.
Well, no, but he's more of like a cow man. He's like a minotaur. He's not a centaur, but he's like a minotaur.
Yeah.
Bloodseeker has those weird legs.
He's got
Yeah,
those weird ostrich legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
account.
by that account, I think Vengeful Spirit also has those weird sort of cloven hoofs. But
Yeah.
that's it.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
freaking
She's just
out.
from what was it?
Skrylock.
Skrylock.
My wings.
Right.
Oh no!
Her and Skywrath
Don't
Mage.
start talking too much about lore.
Yeah, I don't wanna
As
My
wings.
Last down will get all
We know
on
how
me.
that went last time. It did
Yeah,
not go
all right.
well.
Carry on.
I always assumed Skyrath was from Eastern Europe. I don't know. I thought it was from Ukraine. I don't know.
Why
do
is
I
he
know?
flying, Brian? Why is he flying?
And why does he have little talons for foot?
yeah, what's the talent thing
foots.
about?
Why does Bloodseeker have
Ostrich
reverse
does.
feet?
Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Any other questions?
What else you got for us?
I'm
All right.
getting impatient.
Second
now. You can
question
tell.
comes
Ben's got
from
his arms
CG
folded.
Doozy. So this should be a doozy. Here
Oh,
we go.
boy.
Friend of the show, CG Doozy asks, will the next WLD podcast be all about 6.28? I mean 8.2, pardon me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just put that in there
we're gonna-
because, you know.
The next one will also be about 6.8.
This current
Yeah, I
one
believe
is,
so.
and next week will be as well.
Yeah.
Is this the last one before the tournament starts? I think it is.
Yes, it is.
I think the important.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I think the important thing to remind people with the tournament is that this is a beta,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
there's gonna be bumps in the road.
and
It's gonna be rough.
Wow, Ben, you're really wanting to move this show along.
I am.
You don't even care.
Do you want me to stop?
What if there were other questions?
We've gone like an hour and a half already.
We got a lot of farming and Destiny to do
Yeah,
today.
we
Okay.
So.
Were there any other questions?
some more
Chief?
loot.
Killing
Yes.
zombies.
Oh, and speaking of the WLDL,
Yes.
I had
Yes,
this
sir.
little
go.
this little
That's a
note
good-
from Field
good
Studies,
segue.
which I decided to include
Oh, yeah.
about casting. So, friend of the show, moderator, Field Studies, community manager, all around great guy. Field Studies says, as the opening season of WLD League draws near, full details details will be available now on the We Like Dota website.
Current.
We've been starting to think about some of the finer details, like casting for the games.
Hey.
Likely, the WLD hosts will take on the casting for as many matches as they can manage. And I believe friend of the show, Last Town, has expressed interest in trying his hand. But likely, there will still be league names in need of a casting team.
Absolutely.
So, if you have experience or are even just interested and think you'd like to help, let us know.
If you're breathing.
Which that's definitely true. Especially in the group stage.
Yeah, we're
there'll
going
be
to
a
need
need
some
for
help.
that.
We're going to need some help.
But I think for the playoffs, Jared and I are going to try and lock down Friday nights. I believe as much as possible.
And we should get eliminated pretty quickly. So
That's a good
I think
point.
we'll probably be available.
That's a good point. Yeah, we'll have one game, one best of 3 that we'll be playing.
Yeah, so I think the 3 of us should be available to do quite a bit. And Cheeks, you're on our team too. So the 4 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that, man.
Maybe Cheeks and I can co-cast. It'd be interesting.
You can cast while you play Destiny together.
We could. We got to.
That would be pretty good. And now I'm shooting at this thing.
Yes, but
somebody died in
casting
Dota. It
for
doesn't
Destiny.
matter. It doesn't
whatever.
matter.
Just
Radiant
just
wins.
a general reminder that the scheduling spreadsheet is online at welikedota.com. So make sure you go and sign up. If you're a team that has not yet scheduled your matches, get on there and schedule your matches and do all that crap. Get your crap together.
Get that
teams.
crap together.
Yeah, I think that's it. Cheeks, where can we find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at Cheeks of Flappin', and that's all I'm comfortable with giving you right now.
Perfect.
Ooh, yeah.
Ben, where can we find you online?
Mystery.
You can find me on Twitter at Dota Yadneb, and you can find me at also Dota Yadneb on Xbox Live and PSN.
Oh, nice.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh.
Jared?
I have a Twitter handle that I almost never use.
Perfect.
It is +3000 PLUS number 3000.
Except for you're going to start tweeting about hashtag Brave New Meta.
Yeah, I will try to get a couple out this week.
Yes.
As I digest everything with this patch, and we continue next week, and we're going to tease, talk about some items and any other hot fixes, as well as
You're always
my brave new meta.
You're always like months ahead of the meta. But
Mostly on accident.
Mostly on accident. You kind of digest this thing like a snake digests a mouse. Like
Yeah,
you gotta
that's right.
unhinge
It does
your
take a little bit
jaw.
of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I did call Jakiro as a core like 3 months before it happened.
pretty impressive.
So
Yeah.
Good job.
yeah.
You
Just putting
can-
that out there.
You love to know about the Dota. And
I do like
you
the
know
Dota.
a lot. It's great.
I do.
You
like
can
the
find
Dota.
me online at my personal Twitter account at byinger, BYINGER. And you can also follow We Like Dota on Twitter, Reddit, and of course on Twitch
course.
and YouTube.
Yeah.
I think I hit them all. Yeah, I think we're going to try and stick to the 4 o'clock recording time.
Gonna do our best,
I
yeah.
think this is working out okay for us. And, oh yeah, our theme music is brought to us by Michael Edwards of the Flipping Tables podcast. So,
Good guy.
Anyone have anything else?
I don't believe.
Okay,
No.
great.
Well said.
Okay,
Well said.
thanks
sir.
for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week. There we go, folks.